invitation to come here tonight. I'm sorry my voice is not as good as it was. This is the 39th event I've done at the conference so far. There's only 3 more to go tonight. I don't know how many to go tomorrow. And it's been quite an incredible conference. It's our biggest conference for years. We have the largest number of delegates, we have the largest number of visitors, we have the largest number of fringe meetings, and our party membership is enormous. We've gained 160,000 new members since the general election. More than 50,000 in the past 2 weeks have joined the party, and I understand several thousand have joined even since our conference began. We are now an enormous political party. We are indeed becoming almost a social movement across the whole country because of the size of our membership. And I have been at a lot of new members' events at various times and places, and it's incredible, the youth, the vitality, the diversity, and the enthusiasm and the energy of all of those new members. Absolutely fantastic. And conference is a chance for many people to come, take part in fringe events as well as the main business of the conference, and learn a lot from each other. All those fringe meetings are actually very important. They're part of political debate and political dialogue. And I, as you know, have taken an enormous interest in the affairs of the Middle East for a very long time. I've been 9 times on visits. I've visited many places in the region and met many people. Some I agree with, some I don't agree with, some I have neutral opinions on lots of things. And diplomats, of course. But it's also about dialogue and about how you bring about that long-term dialogue, and that is what I want to see. And therefore, the issue of recognition of Palestine was something that was very important in the last Parliament, may well come up again. I know there are people in this room that think it was premature. There are some people in this room who supported it, and many, in fact I'm sure everybody, recognises the only way forward is one of peace, through negotiation, through discussion and dialogue, and through recognition of the rights and needs and traditions of all of the peoples of the region. That surely has to So, I hope we can promote and encourage that peace process and that dialogue. I hope that that means we are able to ensure the siege of Gaza or the restrictions on Gaza are lifted. I hope that we'll be able to make progress. Henry Benn will speak to you later, who's our Shadow Foreign Secretary, and obviously will be doing a great deal of work on this. But as far as I'm concerned, it's important that we open the discussion, if you like, from the time that I've been elected as leader of the party, on the basis that I want to meet everybody, I want to hear all those points of views, I want us as a party to be a party for peace and progress in the Middle East in the best way that we can, by linking up with all those groups in the Middle East that want peace and progress, because as everybody knows, the situation is dire in many ways, with huge numbers of refugees all across the region, huge numbers of people fleeing from the war in Syria and in other places. And I want to say thank you to the community here, to the Jewish community and the many other communities who've opened their hearts and opened their doors and helped people that are desperate, seeking refuge and seeking a place of safety. After being elected leader of the party, was to go straight to Parliament Square and join in the Refugees Are Welcome demonstration, because I wanted the message to go out very clearly that we will not join in xenophobic attacks on those people that are seeking a place of safety, either in this country or anywhere else in Europe, but we will actually be part of helping them, of welcoming them, but also of trying to bring about a political solution to the crisis across the Middle East, particularly the crisis that's there in Syria at the present time. And so for me, there are huge challenges ahead. Huge challenges on how we develop and expand as a party and how we play our part in world affairs. I tried to set out in my speech today my passion and my commitment for human rights and justice around the world. That means sometimes you have to be very critical of people for their abuses of human rights, and that's why I think we have to stand by international conventions, we have to stand by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and in our own society very strongly defend the European Convention on Human Rights and the Human Rights Act. We have to stand for equality within our society. We have to stand against racism in any form, be it Islamophobia, be it anti-Semitism, be it far-right racism. Any kind of racism or discrimination is fundamentally wrong. And the rise of the far-right in Europe is just next by all of us who want to live in a multicultural, multi-faith, multi-ethnic society, standing together to support and defend that society against the attacks that the far right will mount against us, both in this country and in other parts of Europe. And so we work together with all those people to achieve that. But these are great days for the Labour Party. Yes, we did lose an election, obviously, and that was disastrous, we all know that. But we have this huge influx of enthusiastic members who get it, that the party to be ultimately successful must be stronger and bigger in the community, in all communities. So that way, as we go forward in next year's elections in London, Scotland and Wales, Bristol and other places, we work together for those victories. We work together to recruit even more members and even more activity. That way, we go forward the ever stronger as we develop our policies on housing, on education, on economic development and so many other issues. We become stronger as a party. And so I want to say a big thank you to everyone in this room for the work they've done for Labour in elections, for the support you've all given to Labour in elections. And I hope next May, and in the run-up to next May, we'll recruit people to the party. We'll get the electoral registers filled that the Tories are trying to empty. We will ensure that we do well in Scotland, do well in Wales, and we win the moralities in London and Bristol. These are huge tasks before us. But if we go for it, we can do it and we can get it. I want politics to be more respectful. I want politics to be more civilised. That's why I tend to approach the question of how we do Prime Minister's question time and things like that in a slightly different way. And I have to say the general public reaction has been very good on this. Politicians should always try and be the conduit to the questions their constituents want put to those in power. That surely is how we go forward. Thank you very much for inviting me today. I look forward to working with you.
Jeremy, as leader of our party, we are delighted you were here tonight and delighted you were able to